Okay, so now that we've learned all these key features for quadratics, let's go ahead and use those key features to graph. We're going to use the fact that we can find the axis of symmetry, which will allow us to find the vertex. We can find the intercepts, and so we can plot all those points, and we also know that quadratic functions are symmetrical. So we can use that to get enough points to go ahead and draw a graph here. So we're going to do two examples. These take a little bit of work, but you don't have to do a lot of them. So let's get started. Here's the first one. Y equals x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay, so let's start with the axis of symmetry. Remember we learned that the axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. So in this case, the axis of symmetry is going to be negative 4 over 2 times 1, which is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So my axis of symmetry is at negative 2. Let's go ahead and use that to find our vertex. So remember, to find the vertex, we're going to take our axis of symmetry and we're going to plug it in for x. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have y equals negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. Now, if I go on my calculator, I'm going to get 4 plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. I get negative 9. Okay, so that means that my vertex is at negative 2, negative 9. You learned that back in learning task number 2, I believe. Okay, so now at this point, I think I can put my axes on my graph because now I know, once you know where your vertex is, that will give you an idea where you can put your axes. Typically, you can put your axes right in the middle of the graph. Like you can put them right here in the middle like you normally would. But if for some reason you got a vertex that was like at, I don't know, negative 15 or something, maybe you'd want to put your x-axis really high so that you have more room below. Just something to think about. Don't stress out over it too much. But this one looks like it's going to be pretty much in the middle. So I'm going to draw my axes right up here in the middle. Okay, and then I'm always going to, when I draw my axes, I'm always going to put arrows on them and I'm going to label them X and Y. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw in our axis of symmetry really lightly. It's at X equals negative 2. So here's going to be my axis of symmetry right here. And that's not part of the graph, but that's going to help us when we're plotting our points. And then let's put our vertex, which is at negative 2, negative 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. There's my vertex right there. Okay, now I can also find my intercepts. So let's go ahead and do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my y-intercept. Well, remember that my y-intercept, since I'm already in the standard form here, my y-intercept is just going to be 0, negative 5. Okay, and I get that right from the constant term as long as I'm in standard form. So let's go ahead and plot that one. So that's at 0, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, here's the part where we're going to use the symmetry of a parabola. Notice that this point is on this side, the right-hand side of the axis of symmetry. That means there's a matching one on the opposite side. So this one is 2 spaces away from the axis of symmetry. That tells us that we're going to have another one 2 spaces to the left. Remember, the axis of symmetry basically acts like a mirror. Okay, last part. Let's get our x-intercepts. So remember that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to factor it. I'm subbing in 0 for y. So I've got x plus 5 and x minus 1. That's factored. I have x plus 5 equals 0, so x equals negative 5. And I have x minus 1 equals 0, so x equals positive 1. So I have intercepts, x-intercepts at negative 5, 0, and 1, 0. So negative 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 0. And now I have enough points that I can draw at least a rough sketch of what this parabola looks like. Remember, it's rounded, not pointy. So make sure that it has a nice round bottom, okay? Make sure that it's not flat here, and make sure that it's also not pointy, okay? It should be nice, smooth curve. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to give you one. I know that a lot of you are like, listen, Mr. Burke, I got it. But I'm going to give you one that's a little bit different, so I want you to pay attention to that. I'm having some issues here with moving my page here, so I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna restart it on the next line. So hold on one second. Second example. Sometimes you're going to be given the function that's already in factored form. That seems like that's really great, and for some things it is, but for other things it's not. So what is it great for? Well, it's really great for finding our intercepts because we're already in factored form. So let's go ahead and start there. So I'm going to do my x-intercepts first. So I'm already in factored form, so I can go right to the part where I'm setting them both equal to 0. And so I have an x-intercept of -3 and an x-intercept of 2, and I'm going to write those as coordinates, and there they are. Now, to find the vertex, which means I have to find the axis of symmetry, and to find my y-intercept, this form is not super helpful. I will tell you one thing. Here's a trick. So let's find the y-intercept first, and then I'm going to show you a trick to find the axis of symmetry and then find the vertex. So one way to find our axis of symmetry is to put this into standard form, and then we can proceed as we've learned how. So let's do that over here on the side. If I want to put this in standard form, that means I'm going to have to multiply it out. So I have to multiply x plus 3 times x minus 2. That's going to give me x squared, 3x, -2x, and -6 using Punnett square. So that means that if I want to put this in like more of a standard form, I get y equals x squared plus 1x minus 6. Okay, so now that I've done that, now you can see that my y-intercept is -6. Now, you might have noticed, and I will allow this, you might have noticed that, wait a minute, can't I just multiply the 3 and the -2? That's how I get the constant term anyways. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could just do 3 times -2, and now you get that that's -6. Okay, now, in order to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex, one way would just be to go ahead and use this green form, the standard form, and proceed as you normally would. So we're going to find the axis of symmetry by doing -b over 2a, and then we're going to plug that value in for x in order to get our vertex. But you can do something else. The axis of symmetry is exactly halfway between my x-intercepts because, again, symmetry. So if you go exactly halfway between -3 and 2, you're at -0.5. So that tells me immediately, without doing -b over 2a, that tells me immediately that my axis of symmetry is -1/2 or -0.5. Now I can take this -1/2, and to get my vertex, I can plug it in here if I want to. I can plug it in either form. You can go back to the original, or you can use the standard form. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug it into the original form. So I'm going to do parentheses in my calculator, -0.5, you could do 1/2 if you wanted to, plus 3, parentheses, times -0.5, again, you could do 1/2, minus 2, parentheses. And when I put that in my calculator, I get a vertex of -6.25, which means my vertex is at -0.5, comma, -6.25. And yes, decimals happen with parabolas, and you need to just estimate that and graph it. Okay, we have a vertex now. we have x-intercepts, we have a y-intercept, we have enough to graph. So let's graph. I'm going to put my axes on first. Again, this looks like this one can go right in the middle. So here goes my axes. And then I'm always going to put arrows on them and label them as x and y. And now let's start plotting our points. X-intercepts are at -3, 0, and 2, 0. My vertex is on my, I'll go ahead and put in my axis symmetry. It's at -1/2, which is right about here. And my vertex is at -6.25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I just estimate. It's right in there somewhere. My my y-intercept is at -6, and remember, by symmetry, I have another point on the other side. And there you go. I've got enough to graph this thing now. So remember, I'm going to do a nice smooth curve, not pointed and not flat, and I get something that looks like that. So that's how we're going to use all the key features that we learned in order to do some graphing. Give it some practice and try the checkpoint.